Lolly and Ted are in the car and we are off on our travels, or we would be if the traffic was moving. Hi guys, it's Pam. Welcome back to the channel. And yes, from what you're going to see in a second, you will be able to work out exactly where I am. And here it comes. Okay, now you've got it. Yes, I have officially arrived back in Scotland. So the drive up was absolutely fine. An M6 a crawl for literally the majority of the way, and although I left early in the morning, it took me until 9 o'clock in the night to reach beautiful Glencapel Quay. This was the last part of the journey, which is down the little roads that have got grass growing up the middle, tight bends, and I prefer not doing it in the dark when I've just driven hundreds of miles, but there was no option last night, and I did arrive in the dry, so that was handy because the dogs needed a decent little walk after being cooped up in the car all day. You can see I took that bend quite slowly. It is a very, very steep one. It doesn't show it on the video very well, but it's morning. It's Saturday, and I'm just going to give you a quick little look around. You can see the River Nith, which is in front of us. We are approximately 7 miles from Caerlavelock Castle. Now, I've visited that and Glencapel in previous videos, so if you go back to those in my playlist, which I'll try to add a link in this video, you'll be able to take a look at what Caerlavelock Castle is like. There's the Nith in the background and the lovely little village of Glencapel. It is wet and misty and very, very windy this morning, but never mind, it's Scotland, we're back, and I can't wait to start getting out and about and showing you all the places that I've missed during the summer. This is the boathouse. This is where the car park is for you motorhomers. They've got 5 spaces right at the end, overlooking the river. Campers and cars can park in the other spaces. It is not chargeable, but they do ask for a donation, and we do want to keep these facilities. The Nith Hotel is opposite. There's the toilets, open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And of course, the Boathouse Cafe and Restaurant. It's also got a little community shop inside that normally has bread, milk and general bits and pieces that you might need if you're spending the night at Glencapel Quay. That's a view down the Nith and just a few shots. We then moved on, and this is actually the farm shop at Loch Arthur, and it was absolutely delightful. Not only a really well stocked farm shop with some really lovely meats, sausages, burgers, venison, rabbit, steak, but the garden was delightful. Bird feeders everywhere, lots of little birds, as you can see from this bit of video. A really nice selection of cakes and food in the cafe. I ended up having a latte with a lemon and coconut cake, and very nice it was. So then we moved on a little further. One of my favourite little spots is the Gatehouse of Fleet, and this is Cally Wood. We've been to Loch Arthur and its farm shop, and then to Castle Douglas for a little wander around, and we went to Tesco's and picked up the shopping. And now, hello Lolly, hello baby. Lolly and Ted are going for a walk in the woods. This will be fun. It's a bit wet and mucky, but never mind. take you for a look around Gatehouse of Fleet. And listen to the wind. Okay, here we've got the path edging the wood and a nice big play area, football field, etc. for children. Come on, you two. And there's a pretty little totem carving further in the wood. It's the fleet that runs through, and that's the car park. And it's a very narrow road, but you can drive up, and there is a parking area. Just me and one other couple who I've just passed at the second cairn. Let's have a look at it round the front, and then I'll take some photos. This is cairn Holy Chambered Cairn. There we go. I'm just walking up to the second chambered cairn now, and you've got a stunning view here up onto the hills. That's the lane. There's the chambered cairn, the second one sat on the top there, and as I pan around for you, you'll see the beautiful countryside, and of course out there in the distance the beautiful Dumfries and Galloway coast. And it appears that these cairns were discovered in 1949 and would have been the burial chambers for the local people, and a few little artefacts were found. And we're in the little village of Creetown, and I've just pulled in because I'm going to make a coffee. I thought I'd do a little wander around and see what this interesting looking sphere is. Trying to get a decent picture of it, if I can. It's a sculpture stone. Very nice too, but there's not a plaque or anything to tell me anything about it, which is a shame. But lots of sea life and things like that over it. And no, definitely not a single plaque telling me anything about it. But here we are, we're in Creetown, where I've just seen petrol at 1.27 and diesel at 1.29. Now, as far as I'm concerned, paying 1.46 in Torquay, I think we are being totally ripped off. Personal opinion, that's it, just sharing it with you. But so far, up here I've seen anything going from 1.30 to 1.34 for petrol. So this is the cheapest I've seen, but makes you wonder why we're paying so much. And that's the clock tower with the sphere. This is Curatory Visitor Centre that I popped into. Some scarecrows I saw along the way. And my stop at one of my favourite places for personal reasons, Ballantrae. It looks out onto the beautiful Ailsa Craig with Arran beyond. And in 2017, it was the first ever beach that I stopped at with my late husband Kelvin. We drove down over the hill and we saw Ailsa Craig in the distance, and we pulled in and just sat and looked at the stunning view. So this is always a favourite beach to come back to because it holds some special memories. But also, it's a perfect place to park up. Just 2 or 3 little spots right at the end by the harbour, and can walk straight out onto the beach. It's shingle at the top with sand at the bottom, and I collected some sea glass as usual. And this is just the little parking stop on Loch Ryan next to Cairn Ryan Ferry Terminal. It's got picnic benches, a stunning view, no overnight stops allowed, but it is handy if you're just going for the ferry. And next I paid a visit to the village of Glen Luce and drove out to the ruin of Glen Luce Abbey. It's a historic Scotland property, currently undergoing inspection, so you can't actually walk through the ruins, but you can walk right around the edge of it. And I must admit, this week has been absolutely fantastic weather. Really could not be better. Hadn't expected to be this hot in Scotland in September. Anyway, here's a look at the Abbey. There's the ruins, and then a little building where you pay to go in, unless of course you remember. That has also got a museum of the little artefacts and a history of the Abbey itself. So Meathead and Lolly wandered around the Abbey, and it was actually lunchtime and we were trying to decide what to do. Well, we went back to the car after looking around the little museum, and we rustled up some delicious sausages that we'd got at the farm shop the other day, and we enjoyed sausage sandwiches with a stunning view over the ruins of Glen Luce Abbey. There is a nice large car park, so if you're visiting, plenty of space to park up for your visit. And highly recommend the sausages. Now, this was my park up that night, and this is on the Queen's View Road, heading up towards Clattering Shores Loch. And that was another stunning little spot with a burn running through, a little walk up into the woods. And this, the next day, is Carsenluth Castle, a ruin set against a tea shop. There's the tea shop. There's the ruined castle. Unfortunately, another historic Scotland one that at the moment is shut because they are waiting for further safety inspections of the interior. One of those things, they can only get so many inspections done at a time due to finances and obviously people qualified to do the inspections. But very well situated with a gorgeous view out over the Galloway coast. So there we go. Only a brief stop. You park in the tea room car park. It's free to enter when it is open. It's free to walk around. But unfortunately, as I said, it's all locked up at the moment. Now, some of you may have seen a video that I made back in the spring when I visited Castle Douglas and went to the beautiful Threve Gardens. Well, it's summer and I decided I was going to go back and pay another visit. So after visiting Threve, I took off up to the Queensview Road, and to Clattering Shores Loch. A beautiful sunset, a very misty start in the morning, which I charted as the morning went on, and it actually turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day. The reflections in the loch in the early part of the morning were absolutely stunning, and even people driving the road to go to work were pulling over and taking photos. Spent the night on the side of the loch. That was the view. That was a little lay-by. You can also stay on the car park at Clattering Shores Visitor Centre, although the visitor centre and toilets are now closed. And just down from Clattering Shores is Murray's Monument. You'll recall that I climbed to Murray's Monument in an earlier video, and that's got a lot of the walk and the detailing. This is the view from the top, but it was a very, very hot day. And now the pretty little village of Monive. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but this was an enforced overnight stop. Driving along, after driving up the Raiders Road, my exhaust fell off. It made a terrible clattering noise all along the road. Stopped, worked out what it was, found a local garage who were absolutely brilliant, saying that if I came along, they would take a look at it, and they ordered the part and they fitted it the next day. Couldn't be happier with them. There was a lovely little car park just in the village centre that stayed in overnight, and a gorgeous cafe that went to the next day for coffee and some lunch. met up with my friend Phil and his dog Ruby, and we did a nice circular walk around the village with some stunning views. I hope you've enjoyed a short roundup of the first week in Scotland, and there'll be lots more travels next week.